Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In my last video, I demonstrated how to link a Tamaverse ticket to your Tamagotchi Uni device. Today, I'd like to continue talking about Tamaverse tickets and answer questions I'm seeing around the community about ticket usage. Looking at Bandai's website, the Tamaverse ticket shop, and the Uni instruction manual, there is not a lot of official information out there about the download codes. So some of this is based on experience or opinion, and as we go, I will point out what are official facts. Part 1. Can you have multiple tickets on your Uni? The short answer is yes, you can have more than one ticket in your collection, but let me further explain. When you initially enter a ticket code in your Uni device, that code links with your device and stays with it. This initial entry counts as one code use, and you can have as many different ticket codes linked to your device as you'd like. Only one ticket and its content can be active on the Uni at a time, but you can switch between all the different tickets that are linked to your device. When switching, you do not have to re-enter or relink the code. Keep in mind that, from a gameplay standpoint, the tickets are not designed to be switched through often. The gameplay concept is to raise a generation, or a few generations, with one ticket so you can enjoy all the content that the ticket has to offer before moving on to another. Switching tickets will cause items purchased from the ticket's location to disappear from your inventory. Those items can be repurchased if you go back to that specific ticket. Part 2. How many times can a ticket be used? In Part 1, I explained that you only enter the ticket code into the Uni device once. This links the code, and this linking process counts as one use. So how many total times can a code be linked? To quote the back of the physical Tamaverse ticket, if necessary, you will be able to link the download to your Tamagotchi Uni device up to 3 times. From this statement, we know that each ticket code can be linked 3 different times. Part 3. Can you share ticket codes? Since a code can be used 3 times, can you share it? I cannot find any official Bandai rules or recommendations to answer this question. However, members of the Tamagotchi community have been sharing codes amongst themselves, and yes, it is possible. 3 people can take one code and put it on each of their Uni devices. Once the code has been entered into 3 devices, it can no longer be used. However, I would caution you from sharing your code with anyone, as I suspect that you may need to use the code multiple times yourself in the future. For example, if you factory reset your Tamagotchi, I suspect that you may need to re-enter the code and that will count again as one of the code's uses. I don't know for sure, as I don't know how Bandai manages what codes are tied to what devices. I'm just guessing that it could possibly be stored locally on the device and lost upon reset. I suspect this based on the ticket statement. To quote again, if necessary, you will be able to link the download to your Tamagotchi Uni device up to 3 times. There will be no reissue of lost, damaged DL codes, unquote. It sounds like Bandai is providing a heads up that the need for re-entry may be necessary at some point. I have not yet tested this myself, but if you decide to test this, please share your experience in the comments. Part 4. Should you share your ticket codes? Now that we've discussed that you can share your code, let's talk about if you should share your code. Sharing your code is completely your choice. In my opinion, the codes are not designed to be shared, so I personally will not be sharing any of my codes. Again, this is my opinion, but I'd like to explain why I think this way. I'll demonstrate my opinion with a question. If these codes are not designed to be shared or have multiple links, why would Bandai allow the codes to be used multiple times? I think this is primarily for customer service and expense management. Things go wrong with technology, it just happens. If Bandai issued single-use codes and something went wrong, they'd end up spending a lot of time reissuing codes. Not only would this be frustrating for customers, it would also be costly to provide that customer service. So it only makes sense that 3 uses are available to provide room for error. Secondly, I believe Bandai wants each individual user to buy their own code. Again, this is my opinion, it's not based in fact, but I don't think Bandai wants the collector community to be sharing codes. And this makes 100% perfect sense. The Tamaverse ticket content is not free for Bandai to produce, and they need to make a profit in order to justify creating products like this in the future. With that being said, if someone in the Tamagotchi community likes the Tamaverse content, I think they should be buying their own ticket instead of sharing a code. I'm not trying to be a kiss up to Bandai by saying that, but my perspective and opinion is that Bandai is not 100% convinced on Tamagotchi's success and future, particularly outside of Japan. Tamagotchi is caught between a collector's item and a toy. And while there will always be a community that loves Tamagotchi, like anything in for-profit business, decisions of continuation and future development are made on data. So numbers, sales, expenses. As collectors, if we can toss $6 at Bandai to show that we support this type of product and content, I think we should be doing that. No matter if you decide to share your code or keep it to yourself, I respect your decision. Ultimately, whatever works for you works best. Thank you so much for joining me today to talk about the Tamaverse ticket codes. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my future Tamagotchi and toy collecting content. Also follow me on Instagram at LovePandaBunny. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in my next video.